So students, under chapter Human Health and Diseases, in our last class we have learned till addiction and dependence, about withdrawal syndrome. Then today we are going to learn next part of it, which is very interesting part. According to me, not only students, even parents should see this video, even irrespective of what background they are, whether they are commerce or arts, but this is very much required for everybody. So definitely parents also should see this video so that they will take care of their children very well. So let us start. Beautiful concept, effects of drugs and alcohol abuse. Interesting fact is, how will you identify that any person is addicted to drugs or alcohol? Isn't it very interesting? Because everybody wants to know, if a person is drug addict or he is addicted to alcohol, how to identify that person? Okay, will he show some characters? All that we are going to study today. It is very interesting part. Okay, so we will discuss. That is, so in our last class we have learned, I think no need to write recap here because video is available. So directly we will go with the topic, that is effects of drugs or alcohol abuse. If a person is addicted to drugs or alcohol, what all problems he will face and what all effects are there on his body, his or her body. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಡ್ರಗ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಹುಡುಗ ಅಥವಾ ಹುಡುಗಿಯ ಮೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಇಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಏನೇನು ದುಷ್ಪರಿಣಾಮಗಳಾಗ್ತದೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಇಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ their body by taking drugs and alcohol. Let us see one by one. So first, how to identify drug addicts, what all characters they show. After taking drugs and alcohol, what all characters that person shows. That if we see, then we will come to know, easily we can identify that person. Okay, like the first character what they show is a reckless behavior. Person who takes drugs and alcohol, they take reckless behavior. And very important to note here is, this chapter alcohol and drug abuse is introduced in PUC because they don't want to promote drugs or alcohol. They want to stop it, because the children's, I told you in last class, for what all reasons they may go for drugs and alcohol, all that reasons should be avoided. So in this chapter, why they have included, because at this age if you come to know what are the ill effects of taking drugs or alcohol, ಅಂದರೆ ಡ್ರಗ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನೇನು ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾದರೆ, ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಡ್ರಗ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. Like if you come to know what happens when person takes drugs and alcohol, okay, then the person will not think about drugs and alcohol also. Using is secondary. ಅಂದರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಥಿಂಕು ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. That is the reason why PU board has introduced this topic. Then at last, counseling methods are also there. That also we will discuss today. If not today, at least in next class. Today we are going to discuss very interesting part, how to identify drug addicts and what are the effects of drugs and alcohol on the body. Okay, ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನೇನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡು. And first let us see what all character he shows. Number one, reckless behavior. I told you, reckless behavior means they don't care for anybody. If they take drugs and alcohol, they don't think about their surroundings. About second person they don't think. ಅಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವ್ರು ಥಿಂಕೆ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. And they don't care for anybody. Okay, like false daring. Okay, ನಾವು ಬಂಡ ಧೈರ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, like that. Okay, normally he will not show such characters, but after taking drugs and alcohol, the person will show reckless behavior. That is, he doesn't care for anybody. And second one is vandalism. This is very important. Vandalism means destroying personal and public properties. Okay, he will destroy himself, like he will hit his hand on something. Okay, it starts bleeding. ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಅವನು ಕೈ ಕಾಲೆಲ್ಲ ಬಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೈಗೆ ರಕ್ತ ಬರುತ್ತಾರ, because he doesn't know where he should show his anger. Okay, he is desperate, he will show anger on something, or he will throw something, okay, or he will hit somebody. Vandalism means destroying his own properties and public properties. Like we see that the alcoholic people and drug addicts, they destroy public properties. Like some people burn the bike, car, bus, then they will hit someone else. Okay, so all these are destroying public properties. Okay, like if they are in a park, they will destroy park bench. Then if they are in class, they break the table, they break the benches, all that. Some people throw the computer and break it. Means they don't know how to channelize their angriness. Okay, ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಸಿಟ್ಟನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. That is vandalism, meaning is destroying personal and public properties. This is one of the characters. Okay, so reckless behavior, vandalism, then very important is violence. They create violence. You know, violence, galate madudu. Okay, so they create violence. These are the three main characters they show. These are the effects on the body. Let us see now how to identify drug addicts. If a person takes drugs or alcohol, he will show these three characters mainly. Okay, other than that, how to identify drug addicts, we will see now. But the problem is overdose. If the drugs or alcohol is overdose, okay, overdose can cause death also. Overdose of drugs causes death by what reason? Overdose can cause death by respiratory failure, means failure of breathing. If they take overdose, too much drugs if they take in quantity, more quantity if they take, because only certain quantity in milligrams they can tolerate. Like if they are taking grams and all, then it may cause death because of either respiratory failure. Respiratory failure means breathing completely stops. Okay, lungs cannot breathe. Then or else due to heart failure, or cerebral hemorrhage, that is internal bleeding in the cerebrum of brain. Because of these three reasons, overdose of drugs causes death. That is either respiratory failure, that is breathing stops, or heart failure, heart completely stops. Then cerebral hemorrhage. Cerebral hemorrhage means internal bleeding in the cerebrum causes death. Cerebral hemorrhage also causes death. Okay, then one more problem is there. Some people take drugs along with alcohol. This is even dangerous. Definitely person can go to coma or death. Coma means, you know, it is brain dead people. I told you brain dead meaning, okay, in first chapter. So drugs plus alcohol means they are already drunk. They have already drunk alcohol. They already alcohol ಕುಡಿದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಡ್ರಗ್ಸು ತಗೋತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Means they have already drunk alcohol. Along with that, they are taking additionally drugs also. Alcohol and drugs together, because this is the problem. Because alcohol is already in the body, okay, plus drugs is added, so a person cannot tolerate it. Okay, it causes coma, and coma leads to death. Okay, both they should not take. Actually nothing they should take. Alcohol and drugs both are bad. Okay, so I told you, you have promised me that in your lifetime you will not smoke, drink or take drugs. You have promised me, you take a oath. Okay, just remember, think about your parents. Okay, because person drinking alcohol, smoking or taking drugs, not only you, your family also will suffer. And as a lecturer, I am telling you, taking drugs, smoking, then drinking alcohol definitely is injurious. Then it may cause death also. So please remember, okay. Like that is why statutory warning government also shows everywhere. Smoking kills, alcohol is injurious to health, drugs also definitely kill. and once if they take, they get addicted to it, then they can't live. Okay, so like people say, first person takes alcohol, then alcohol takes him, meaning first he takes alcohol, then alcohol takes him, means it will cause death because of liver damage, so none of this is good. So we are just learning this so that we will come to know what are the effects. After coming to know the effects, definitely we don't think about all these things also. Okay, so don't think about all these things to take. Okay, so these are very bad things. We are learning this just to see that what all problems will happen. Okay, then now let us see how to identify drug addicts. This is very interesting, especially some students if they take drugs at this age, how to identify them. I can clearly identify if any drug addicts are there. Okay, how to identify drug addicts or person who takes alcohol, especially here we are talking about drugs. How to identify drug addicts, one by one we will see. The first character what that person shows is drop in academic performance. Means very good student in studies, suddenly he will not study, means he will score very less marks. It is not 10, 15 marks and all. It is like person taking 100 out of 100 will take 0 one day. That means some problem is there with that person. So we have to identify that person. We have to inquire about that person to his friends, and we will come to know that that person is addicted. So first what they show is drop in academic performance. That doesn't mean that who scores low marks, they are not drug addicts. Okay, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that one who scores less marks is drug addict. Okay, it's not like that. Good students who are concentrating on studies, because of some reason they took drugs, and definitely they cannot concentrate on studies because their mind will be always towards taking drugs. So drop in academic performance. So according to me, I am telling all this to your parents also, so that not only parents, even you, if you find such characters in your friends, okay, you have to inform their parents. Okay, that is your responsibility. So drop in academic performance. Okay, then he doesn't concentrate on personal hygiene, lack of interest in personal hygiene. Hygiene means, personal hygiene means keeping our body clean. No? Every day we should take bath, we should wear clean washed clothes. Okay, so not wearing same clothes for a week or month, that is too bad. Maintaining personal hygiene, you should cut nails always. Okay, take bath all the time, I mean every day. So you have to keep your body clean, that is personal hygiene. But the person who takes drugs, he will not have any interest on personal hygiene. If you look at that person, he will be wearing same dress for a week, that too without washing. And if you look at his hairs, no, he doesn't comb his hair. Okay, so it is like shuffled hair. Then if you look at that person, he did not sleep for so many days, so dark circle, no, you can see. So then in some cases we see that especially in this area, okay, some syringe marks will be there, like no syringe, he has taken a syringe, so marks will be there. So all that is lack of interest in personal hygiene. If you look at that person, he looks dirty with respect to personal hygiene, then you will come to know that that person has a problem. Okay, then withdrawal, isolation, depression. Withdrawal, isolation, depression. One by one let us see. Withdrawal syndrome already you have learnt in last class. Withdrawal means once the person is addicted to alcohol or drugs, he cannot come out of that because he is addicted to euphoria. That is, the euphoria means happiness for sometimes. Okay, only when they take drugs and alcohol they feel very happy, and when that drug effect goes, alcohol effect goes, then he feels normal. So he wants to be happy all the time, that's why he takes drugs. Okay, because when he takes drugs he will be happy. That is temporary feeling of happiness. That is not true happiness. Okay, true happiness is there in spending time with your family. Okay, achieving something in your life. Okay, you can play cricket, you can play something, or you can learn music, you can learn musical instruments, spend time in all these things. Okay, so happiness is there in all these real things, not temporary feeling of happiness. But they are already addicted to it, now they cannot come out of that, because I told you withdrawal syndrome means in last class you have learned it will have some problems, like taking alcohol or drugs is stopped for some time. Suppose today they stopped it completely, okay, they did not get alcohol or drug, then their body will show some problems, their body will show some symptoms. That is fatigue, vomiting sensation, fatigue, tiredness, sweating, profuse sweating, all these are characters. That is temporary. Once they take drugs, then they become normal, because they are already addicted to drugs. That is one problem, withdrawal. Okay, then isolation means he keeps separated from others. Even in the classroom also, he doesn't mingle with friends. He doesn't share anything with the friends. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಕೂತಿರೋದು ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ, ಯಾರ ಜೊತೆಗೂ ಮಾತಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, separated. And he doesn't want to share his feelings with others. And he doesn't mingle with others. He will be completely separated from others. Isolated means completely separated from others. Then depression. Always he will be thinking about something. Okay, always he feels depressed. He is not at all happy. So these are the characters. Then along with that, fatigue, aggressiveness. Fatigue means tiredness. Tiredness will be there. Tiredness will be definitely there because when they take drugs they don't require food also. They don't want food. Okay, so they just take drugs, then they don't eat. They don't eat anything. Then because of that they feel weakness. That is fatigue. Tiredness will be there always. Then aggressiveness. The person taking alcohol and drugs will be aggressive. Aggressive means if you talk to them they'll hit you. Okay, like they are very aggressive. Okay, they shout on others, they fight with others. That is all aggressive behavior. Even they will show, next point I'll write here, 8th point, rebellious behavior. Rebellious means, rebel means to oppose something. Like if you say something they don't agree, they oppose. Like if I say you have to do this, then why we have to do? I will not do. What you can do, you do it. Nina train madakagutte madu. Okay, that is all rebellious behavior. That is opposing others' statement. That is completely what we call rebel or rebellious behavior. Then deteriorating relationships with family and friends. Deteriorating relationship means their relationship will be slowly spoiled. Okay, they don't spend time with their family. Okay, they don't give time for the family. Then they don't discuss anything with the family, even with the friends also. So slowly friends also doesn't like him, they will separate him. Okay, they don't mingle with him. Even he doesn't want to talk with his family. He doesn't share anything with the family. He keeps separated. He doesn't mingle with friends. He doesn't mingle with family. But family ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೂ ಮಾತಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅವನು, ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆಗೂ ಮಾತಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೂ ಮಾತಾಡಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅವನು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅವರೇ ಮಾತಾಡಿಸಿದ್ರು ಅವನು ಮಾತಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. because if his friends are only talking also, he doesn't talk. That is a problem. Okay, deteriorating relationship with the family and friends. Then very important is loss of interest in hobbies. Loss of interest in hobbies, then change in eating and sleeping habits. Okay, so loss of interest in hobbies, like if they used to sing when they are bored, okay, whatever hobbies they had, okay, they used to practice musical instruments, or they used to concentrate on sports. Now after taking drugs and alcohol, they don't show any interest in their hobbies, okay, because always they'll be thinking about drugs and alcohol. Then change in eating and sleeping habits. They start eating very less, and sometimes they don't eat for 24 hours. 1 or 2 days they don't eat anything, just they take drugs and sleep. Okay, so then suddenly when they get food after 1 or 2 days, suddenly they will eat so much. That is not a normal habit. Change in eating and sleeping habit, and time also. What time they used to have lunch and dinner, that they skip. Then sleeping habits also, like every day when they were normal, suppose every day they used to sleep at 9 o'clock, okay, or 10 o'clock. Now they don't sleep at that time, because throughout the day anytime they sleep, because when they take drugs, they take drugs or alcohol, they feel sleepy, they sleep. Then whenever they want to get up, they'll get up. Okay, they don't maintain proper timing for sleeping. Then other than this, you will see fluctuations in weight and loss of appetite also. Fluctuations in weight. Fluctuations in appetite. Fluctuations in weight means weight loss or weight gain by taking drugs. Like some people, they don't eat properly when they take drugs, because drugs is only everything for them. So at that time they don't eat properly, then weight loss, severe weight loss will happen. 10-15 kgs they lost. Some people will gain weight. Okay, like person who drinks alcohol, where he takes alcohol and eats so much, then oily food and all he eats along with alcohol. Okay, then weight increases. Okay, so fluctuation in weight. Then appetite. Appetite means feeling hungry, that sometimes they don't feel hungry. Okay, that is loss of appetite. Even fluctuations in the appetite, like sometimes they feel very hungry and they eat so much, sometimes they don't feel hungry at all. Okay, so these are the characters. If you find any such characters in a person, then you should think that the person is addicted to drugs. Okay, but closely you have to monitor. One more important thing is there. This is unexplained absence from schools and colleges. Unexplained absence means they remain absent. They don't come to school or college for 1 or 2 days. Then when a lecturer or teacher asks them, then they say they don't have any reasons. They will start thinking what reason to give. Unexplained absence means they don't have any reason, but also they remain absent. Okay, because reason is simple. They want to drink alcohol and take drugs at that time, so they can't come to school or college. So unexplained absence from schools or colleges. Okay, so they don't have any reason, simply they remain absent. Then you should think that he is addicted to drugs. Okay, then let us see what all impacts it has on person taking drugs and alcohol and his family. there are far-reaching implications of taking drugs and alcohol. Far-reaching implication means some other problems also will happen along with what all characters we saw just now. Like, because of the drug addict, his whole family members and friends will suffer. First, family members will suffer because when they don't get money from the family for taking drugs and alcohol, because for taking drugs and alcohol they need money. When their family members are not giving money, then they start stealing money. ಅಂದರೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಸಿಗದೇ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅವರು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಕದಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಳ್ಳತನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಹೌಸ್. ದೆನ್ other members of the family also will suffer, because if anybody comes to know that their son or daughter is smoking, drinking and taking drugs, then what about the society? What society will think about that person and his family members? Like, if any person who is 18 years old or 25 years old, if he is drinking, smoking or taking drugs, first they will think about the parents. Why didn't the parents guided them properly? Why parents created such problems to their children? Okay, even forcing the children to score more also in the studies, that is also forcing only. Okay, you should understand your children's ability. Like son or daughter, you should understand their ability and you should just encourage them to score more, not force them to score more. Like comparing son or daughter with neighbor's son or daughter, then comparing one person with other person. Like, my friend's son has scored 98% in 10th standard, why you scored only 80% in 10th standard? Like, individual ability, God has given equal opportunity for all by birth. ಅಂದರೆ ಹುಟ್ಟುವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ದೇವರು ಒಂದೇ ಥರ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಹೌ ಯು ಯೂಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್. ಲೈಕ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಬರ್ತ್, ವೆನ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಟು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಸ್, how you utilize your time and how you develop yourself, that only matters. Okay, that will make you a skilled person. Okay, so you should not think that like why we should compare our children with others. That also you should see. Okay, so if your son or daughter is scoring less, then you should not force them to score, but you should just encourage them. You should give guidance. Okay, like whatever you are reading is not enough, you should score more. Okay, then you should tell them, if you score less, then what will happen? You don't get very good seats in the good colleges. All that you have to explain. I'm not saying that marks is everything, but grades and marks, percentage, even for CET also 50% PU's second PU marks will be considered. You should know that. Then entrance exam marks also will be considered. Entrance exam you can score well only when you study well. So for that, definitely you should understand. If children don't understand, at least parents should explain all this to their children, then they will understand and study well. Not that they have to force and make them study. That will create depression in the students. So we should, like, parents should be like a friends to their children. Even you also should be like a friend to your parents. Like, if they scold, that is for your welfare only. ಅಂದರೆ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಬೈದರೆ ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೈಯೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಅವರಿಗೇನು ಕೆಲಸ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಬೈತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ಸಿಟ್ಟನ್ನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ತೀರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಲೈಕ್, ವೆನ್ ಯು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ನೋ, ಸೊ ಎನಿವೇ, ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಸೊ far reaching implication means what all problems will happen, like because of that one person taking drugs, his whole family members will suffer and he will start stealing and he doesn't care for the society. Okay, then it becomes a cause for mental and financial distress to his or her family. Mental and financial distress to their family members. Financial and mental distress means he will become headache for his family. Means because of the drug addicts, whole family members will suffer, because others will talk about his family member, definitely it will be shameful for them. Then financial distress means a lot of money will be spent on drugs and alcohol. They cannot save money, okay, because their family members started stealing money for taking drugs and alcohol. So definitely it becomes a tension for their family members. Okay, so this is one problem. This is not over. In next class we will continue discussing effects of drugs and alcohol abuse. Okay, so keep watching my classes. Thank you.